Alright, this is my situation getting injured at work and dealing with it since. To start, I actually have had a lower back issue since I was a child, and I was struck by a car twice. Since then, my left femur broken, and I have a leg length discrepancy, just making everything, my neck, my back, fight with each other, and constant burning and aching, and all that good stuff. So, it's always been active work to try to maintain any kind of comfort that is really never found, but some days are better than others. Speaking of, this was somewhat manageable until at work I was doing some overhead drilling work and drilling and mounting up in like 60-foot security ceilings that were breaking bits left and right, and it's a lot of awkward bending and repetitive work, and till something just gave pretty much. And I thought I would wake up in a few days and, like when I was a teenager, and just jump right out of bed and be fine. But that never happened. It just progressively got worse and worse. Finally, I had some x-rays, as you see here, but that was actually probably the very beginning of it, before I went to real doctors and got some MRIs. That's actually have a couple sets from like the beginning of it and later, but pulled up some of the details here that I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I like to play with computers. So I don't know exactly what all of it means, but it's kind of what was highlighted. There could be better, worse stuff on the actual reports, but yeah, just a little bit of a little buffet of what's going on. What I've picked up about it since the get go, there are no fixes. It's just maintaining, it's trying to be comfortable, and a lot of, I guess most of the time it's medications. I've never been given any actual real painkillers. I've not really like tried to push for them or anything, but I've got pregabalin and gabapentin and different things that they I feel like a test bunny because they're just like, well, take it for a while and let us know if there's side effects or if it helps at all. Okay, so I've gone through all the stuff that has been advised, injections and everything, and then I finally was asking my doctor like, well, what now? That we figured out some of this. She brought up disability. She said you should go ahead and apply because you're going to get denied, but don't let it discourage you. You know, keep trying. Da 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 da. I'm like, why is that part of it? Why is it like a known thing that you get denied? I don't know. So I started the application process, and had a only person I've known since I was a kid, and she's actually a doctor now. For some reason, I thought that would help, but no, I mean it's not like they care. So of course, I was denied. Now I was expecting this, wasn't hoping for it, but what gets me is out of all the stuff that it showed, like that they went over, they sent me to two different clinics. They set up the appointments and everything, and it clearly said that they didn't even wait for the results of those places before they'd made their decision. I'm just like, okay, like, did you know before you sent me that you were gonna? So I took more advice and requested legal assistance at this point. And the bad thing is, the most contact has been, most of the contact has been them requesting me to give them references for new clients. I thought they were gonna go over my case, maybe like highlight some things and be like, don't worry about this stuff, it's, in their ballpark. But no, they just want to wait for the next denial. I guess like to move on to the next part. It's like meeting an insurance requirement or something. And I'm like, well, why are we waiting for another denial? I don't understand. So I don't know who I'm supposed to get help and advice from, because I asked my doctor originally, and she said that they don't handle disability, they don't handle this stuff. I know she's happy to help me with everything she can, but they don't like deal with paperwork or any of that. My lawyer or the disability attorney, whatever, I've explained it many times, and they have repeatedly sent me the same paperwork that I bring in an envelope thinking it's going to be something new, and we open it up, and they're just like, I don't do this, and so I'm just like, what are we doing here? Yeah, they've just been, I mean, they're, from what I've seen, their purpose is just to like hold my hand while we wait for the inevitable, not actually do anything. I'm not saying that they're not doing anything. I just don't know what it is, and anytime I bring it up, the conversation ends and like, so we're not going to do anything. We just wait for whatever. So yeah, I throughout all this, things had gotten worse. I got to the point where actually I had to build a couple of them, and I need a cane now just to get around the house. For it was like I couldn't do everything I used to, but just to get like the bathroom back, that is something. So I called the disability determination people myself at this point, just to see like, are you guys waiting for anything? Is there anything I can do? Anything I should do? Um, and found out that they didn't have any of my medical records. I don't know how or why, or I don't know. So I contacted my doctor and just, I don't have a way to fax things because that's how they do everything. And I was able to have my doctor send it all, but I just don't know what was going on there either. During all this, bills are stacking up. Plenty of them are still just ridiculously behind. Uh, I selling things that I can on eBay to get by, but I'm having that, like, get the power turned on and then the internet gets shut off and vice versa. And I am lucky to have a food card, like an EBT card, but getting to a store, having gas money, it's just been things that I I wish I had a better idea of what should be done or what could be done, whatever. So speaking of, now shit really hit the fan. Now caca really bad. It slipped my mind throughout all this when the lease was coming up. Like, it's every year, but everything was happening. I was waiting for things, nothing was happening. So by the time that it came up, I just had forgotten about it. I tried to talk to the landlord about what was going on and say, like, hey, can we do 6 months or month to month, or, I've been here for years, so maybe just, take it easy on me. No, it was a sign now or move out. I thought I had a place that I was going, but that fell through. So here and there. And whenever it was about to start adding like late fees, the first time that rent was going to be behind, panicking, and activated a new credit card and paid with it. It maxed out the card, had a $20 fee just to pay with the card. It sucks. At this point, things are. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. But finally out of money. I reached out. I learned about a township trustee, and they help you get in touch with the Salvation Army, and you go back and forth with them. And there's a whole process there that I'm extremely thankful for. I have gotten assistance from each of them in the past, even. And there's also this rental assistance that was incredible. The problem was I have no way of actually reaching a live person, and I like got all the paperwork done, found out I was approved, just had no idea what was next. And it wasn't until like I think I checked on something and noticed that a bill had been paid, and then looked at other things. And a couple days later, they'd sent me an email saying that they went ahead and like made some of the payments. And I'm just like, amazing. I'm not going to complain. I just wish I knew. And I have even more, I guess, assistants waiting, but I have no way of getting a hold of people. And last I found out, I was waiting to hear about, I was on a waiting list. It's been approved, but I have to like answer a phone call and maybe take a survey or something. I don't know. And I'm not complaining. I just don't know. I can't reach anyone. So between all this, I had to take paperwork like from the trustees, township trustee, to my landlord, and sign stuff there and talk to them. And just like it was more contact with the landlord, letting them know what I'm dealing with and what I'm trying and not neglecting things and da 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 da. So we go back to the Salvation Army, and they are great. I'm very thankful. Anytime I have a chance, I will definitely be helping Eddie out there. They have a first come, first serve assistance with rent and utilities on the first of the month. And you have to get there a couple hours before they open because there will be a line. And as I say, it's first come, first serve. So I went ahead and got there plenty early, and there were a couple people in line already. So I pulled out my little camping chair and sat down and was nice to them, and waited a couple hours for someone to open the door and explain that there was a sign on the door that I had not walked up to that said they weren't going to have anything until the 4th. Okay. Went back home, went back up there on the 4th, and after I waited outside and then went in and signed up and waited for them to call my name, found out I was like, I think a few weeks too early from the last time I was there a year ago. You have to wait a full year, and I was like 350 days in or something. That's how it is. That's what those are the rules. I should have investigated further. So went back home, licked my wounds. Next first, I get up there, and it's obviously colder. So I'm just wrapped up in a big jacket. I've got my little chair again, and I've got an umbrella because it was raining. I definitely remember that time. So I'm just huddled up the whole time. And there's a few people in front of me. And I think I even fell asleep out there in my chair and everything. The few people in front of me got a little bit bigger. I couldn't tell you how many, but I kind of noticed like, okay, there's a few more people. And by the time we get inside, the group were like barricading the front desk. And I'm like, you're supposed to go in, sign your name, and sit and wait to be called. And I'm sitting there like leaning on my cane with the umbrella and everything. I had to like I had to like, excuse me, can I get up to the front? And she like wouldn't budge, and a lady behind the counter had to tell her to like let us sign in and everything. It was just really weird. And so I waited for my name to be called, went back and talked to them. Everything seemed to go fine. Went home. Later that day I get a call. They were not able to assist me because it's first come, first serve, and there were so many people in front of me. Not when I got there, but hey, it's done. Can't change it. After that had happened, it wasn't like the next day or anything, but like a few weeks later, I was at the trustee's office again. They know me at this point. And they called up the Salvation Army to check on a couple other things, but they ask about like, hey, is everything, same for next month? Bring it up, and they say, oh no, they're not doing first come, first serve anymore because people have been scamming the system. People, I guess, will like wait the year and hide their money or something and go in there and get their stuff paid for when they don't actually need it. And that's what happened with the group that was in front of me. Cool. And this was even just a stupid little. And then this happened to the next first of the month. I go ahead and head back up there. And I kind of gave up on keeping track of most things. And I didn't realize on the first it was a Sunday this time and they're not open. So I sat out there thinking like, man, I'll be first in line. That didn't work out. At this point, I got my eviction notice. Not like a warning, just, hey, you got to get out of here. We'll see you in court. I mean, it says it all there. But like I said, the office, like I could probably, in my prime, I could have probably thrown something and hit the front door of their office type thing. It's that close. Like, it's not across the street or anything, but you go down to the stoplight and you can see their office. That's perfect. Yeah. So that's my story of being injured at work. Bonus. So during the holidays, when shipping was erratic for everyone, I guess one of my eBay sales, one of the things I sold to someone, never made it to them. I mean, I could see it didn't because the tracking just went to nowhere. So they told me I need to take it up with USPS. eBay told me I need to, and how I should have bought insurance for it. That's that.